Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, doesn't cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that Devil card, your power card, first card out of the pack today. This is very special. This is your time to shine. This really should be one of those times where I ask you, what do you want? What are you looking for? You have this power now. You have this creative energy to really go anywhere and do anything. I should be asking you, what kind of reading do you want? Yeah, you want a love reading? You can have it. You want a career reading? You can have it. Whatever you put your mind to right now, you have the power, the ambition, the direction to manifest it. But I feel like there's a little bit of this kind of unknown. It's almost like when we have so many choices, when the world is so open in front of us, we kind of like don't know where to go, right? You've got to. It's almost like I know this for me at least. When you get a day off from work. You can't wait for your day off. And all week we're waiting for it. We're so excited. The weekend comes or that day off comes and we just think, what do I want to do? And almost we spend the whole day planning or thinking or trying different things. And then before we know it, the day's gone and I got to go back to work tomorrow. So it's kind of like this thing where it's okay to not know. Just go out and do something. Just see where life takes you. See where your energy might bring you. See where spirit might take you. Here's the Tower card. Very interesting. Yeah, the Ace, right? This is the day off. The Ace of Pentacles, the gift. The universe is giving you kind of a, I want to say get out of jail free card. Hopefully that's not going to be needed for any of you. But gosh, look at this. Major Arcana. Very strong right here. And this is really kind of a leveling up. This is a breakthrough energy, right? Tower to an Eon, Judgment, Rebirth, Reawakening card right here. Very, very nice. We have some more fiery energy. And we've got a 5 of Pentacles too. And, well, the Princess of Pentacles and a 10. A 10 of Swords there. The 10 of Wands... 10 of Swords. For me, the 10s are always this idea that nothing is ever final. So it's kind of like you've got all this energy, all this creativity. Maybe you have this gift. Maybe you do have an Ace of Pentacles. Maybe you have this like blank check, right? And you want to do something with it. But we're kind of worried about these 10s. We're worried that if we commit to something, it's written in stone. That once we sign the check, that's it, it's done. We can never change our mind again. Well, with these two cards, I think it's implicit in these cards that we have to revise our plans. The 10 of Wands, what we commit to, what we devote our energy to. When we get to a 10 of Wands, that's telling us that, okay, now it's time to, we've done that. Let's take a look at it. We've built the prototype. We've got to work the bugs out and then start again. Work on the next revision, right? And with the 10 of Swords as well. Once we finally think, okay, I kind of know who I am now. I've got this prototype built. Yeah, let's look at the bugs. Let's revise it and let's issue the next version of things. Yeah. So I feel like that's kind of what we're doing, especially with this Tower energy. Anyway, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. Let's just mix them up real good here. We're going to put Mr. Tao, the Yin Yang Duck, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together, and it will. give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is or you have a hunch, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. All right, let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. Now let's look around the room one more time here. We've got, obviously, a lot of major arcana energy. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's a cluster of it right here, right? And it's kind of, it's within us and in front of us. So it's kind of like we've got to use this energy. It's the timing of things. It is this, God, I love that we're going from an ace to a 10, right? We've got this opportunity now to think of the next phase of our lives, the next version of ourselves. And we've got this blank check. And it kind of is like this gift of an opportunity that says, what do you want the next chapter of your life to be? You've got this, I think it's going to be a little bit of a mystery novel, a little bit of an action novel, right? I feel like there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of magic. There's a lot of mysticism. There's a lot of unknown. It's kind of a mystery thriller kind of vibe, you know? But I feel like it's going to be a lot of action, a lot of moving parts. There might be some travel. Maybe there's a connection with Northern Europe that some of you might be traveling toward. We got that 5 of Pentacles here showing that we're understanding what hasn't worked, and we're putting our resources into fixing that stuff. I think for some of you, there really is some kind of repairs that need to be done to the home or something. I feel like something on the outside, if it's the porch or if it's like the siding or something, like on the side of the building needs to be fixed. So I feel like we're putting our resources into that. It kind of does feel like you've been given a blank check, or you've been given a kind of a mass of resources. Maybe you've won something. Maybe this is a lottery win. Maybe this is some sort of inheritance. Maybe this is the bonus at work. And it's kind of like, what do I want to do with it? You know? And we're kind of reluctant to commit to anything. Because then we feel like, once I commit, that's it. You know? But we can ease into it. We can always change our mind. Right? You can always take the stuff back to the store. So I feel like there's that kind of uncertainty, but we have this impulsiveness down here. We've got a Tower. We've got our Knight of Wands. We have this feeling like, I've got to hurry up, I've got to hurry up, I've got to hurry up. I don't think we really have to. I kind of think that this is something that you sort of can take your time doing. That we can ease into it and make sure we're doing the right things. Some of you have a connection with horses. I don't know if you ride horses, own horses, or you somehow had horses when you were a kid. But that's just one of these details that sometimes, pop into my awareness just as a way of validating the energy that we're in. Okay, so it might not have a relation to this unless maybe you're thinking of buying a horse or somehow investing money in that sort of thing. Okay, let's see what else we've got. We've got our fire. We don't have any water energy, right? What we have is major arcana, a little bit of air, and earth. Mostly fire and earth. Fire and earth, fire and earth. And you know what I say about fire and earth, Capricorn. It is your magical power. Every sign, every reading just about, I talk about the spiritual circuit of creation, from fire to earth, heaven to earth, above to below, impulse to behavior, will to action, idea to implementation. Yeah. Fire to earth. That is the spiritual electrical circuit of creation. Yeah. And it's something that's built into you, Capricorn, specifically, because you are the cardinal earth energy. You are the fire of earth. Right? You are the result of that direct line of communication. Like you've got a real connection built into you with that creative process, with that creative power, with spirit, right? With that force and fire of creation. And we see that reflected very often in your readings, the fire and earth, right? Because this is fire and earth. This is fire and earth. This is fire and earth too, the tower. That's kind of now the reversal of that process, right? And then again, what do we have? Fire and earth. And we've got more earth here. And even this card is fire. This is the Eon card. This is pure fire. And this, really here, this is pure earth. So we really have this idea of unlimited possibilities for you right now. And this is a gift that you're being given. I don't know if this is literally money or if it's an opportunity in time or in space. But there's an opportunity now for you to really create the rest of your life. Okay? You can hear my cat scratching at the studio door. The door's wide open. She can come in anytime she wants, but she likes to scratch at the door. She's kind of announcing that she's here, you know. Anyway, we talked about the devil energy, and this is your ability to climb any mountain. So I'm not worried about you not having the energy to do it, or the will to do it, or the ambition, or the power, right? I think some of you are having an issue with, maybe it's the right knee, that there's something going on with your knee anyway. But that's not taking away from your ability. You put a brace on it and you keep going, right? Consult your doctor, obviously, and I'm not a medical person. I'm not doing a medical reading. But I feel like there's this feeling that time is moving on and we've got to hurry. Right, there's my cat now. She's a hairless cat, a Sphinx cat. Name is Titi. There's this feeling that we have to rush. There's this feeling like, especially when we start getting older, we start getting the wrist pain, you know, the kind of the arthritis kind of feeling. We get the knee pain, and we start to think, I'm getting older, I gotta hurry up. There's still so much more to do in life, right? So it kind of gives us this feeling underneath everything that we've got to hurry up before everything breaks down. And the tower energy sometimes is talking about that. I think that maybe we're dealing with some inflammation in our body. I think there is that kind of, that arthritis kind of feeling somewhere. Maybe it is in the wrist or fingers and the knuckles. I do get the kind of knee inflammation. It just kind of starts to creep up on you as we get older, right? And this is the feeling that I've got to hurry up because things don't last in this world, right? That whatever we build up eventually will come crumbling down. So there's this kind of, there's this feeling within you that it's kind of this feeling that at any moment everything could kind of come crumbling down. So I think there is this anxiety in you. It's almost an anxiety about anxiety itself, you know? It's this anxiety that things will come crashing down at some point, so I better hurry up. And it's kind of like, if you look at the goat on top of the tower, the goat's trying to scurry up the tower as the tower's crumbling down. As the mountain is kind of cascading down, the goat's trying to climb up to the very, very top, because what else is it going to do, right? It doesn't realize when it gets to the top, it's just going to come down anyway, right? So to me, that's kind of the anxiety that we might be feeling right now. All right. Let's see. Where else to go? Not only the horses I'm getting spirits showing me a wolf. I think a wolf might be part of your spirit, your group of spirit animals, your kind of spiritual fur family. I think that's very significant to you. And I think that it's kind of this idea that you've always kind of gone your own way. You've always gone against the group. You know, you've been kind of a lone wolf, so to speak. And what I'm feeling with that is that it's hard for you to kind of commit to any particular thing, because you like to have the freedom of kind of being able to move, being able to pivot at any moment. You know, you don't want to build anything up that's too stable and too permanent, because you like having the kind of freedom. You might be someone who's had a lot of different careers in your life. You've had a lot of these kinds of these Eon judgment cards, I think, you know, which is you've had a lot of different transitions in your life. You're not just someone that was just, you know, you did school, then you did career, and now you're going to do retirement or whatever. I think that you've had maybe a lot of schools. You've had a lot of careers. You know, you've had maybe periods of retirement, then periods of activity. You've been many different things, many different people in your life. There's been many mountains that you've climbed. Yeah. With the 2 of, or the 10, sorry, it looks like a 2. With it, I'm going to talk about the 2 because for me, this is the idea that there is someone that is attached to you, and I don't know if they're still here or if they have transcended the physical plane, but I feel like you're attached to somebody. There is somebody next to you, even while you are kind of doing things alone and doing things solo and going your own way, pivoting when you want to pivot and dropping things and picking new things up and wearing different hats. There's somebody attached to you. I'm feeling an older male energy. And I don't know if that is an ancestor, if this is a more spiritual kind of energy, or if this is someone that was in your life and has transcended. I feel like this is the person, it sounds kind of funny, this is the person that really likes spicy food. They maybe were known to put just a crazy amount of pepper or the red pepper flakes, on their food, just like a crazy amount. I don't know if that's resonating with you, but it's an image that I'm getting. But I feel like that energy is still with you. That person is still with you, and maybe it's a partner or a spouse or a friend from long, long ago, right? I feel like they haven't been physically present with you in a quite a long time. Okay. But I feel like they are still with you. Now, we didn't talk about this moon energy yet. Because the moon energy is, to me, really is talking about this, the uncertainty of the future. And the way that this has kind of been your motivating force in life. That if something's too predictable, like the 10s, we got a 10. We end the reading with a 10 of swords, and I better get on with it because it's getting late. We end the reading with a 10 of swords, right? Which is you breaking with tradition. It's you kind of barreling through the expected or the decision that you've made, or this kind of the resolution, the expectations now. That you see everything as being a restrictive, kind of like a bird cage, So in some ways, the Tower is really part of your personality. That the way for you to really express yourself is to keep pushing boundaries. And we see the 10s here as boundaries. But like I said at the beginning, they don't have to be. This is just like a finished product, a prototype that we have to revise. So I feel like you don't like the predictable energy. You don't like the 10s because it is kind of it's the end of the story. It's the end. It's now everything has been revealed. It's kind of that point in the movie or that point in the book where it all clicks for you, And so I think you're someone that probably reads, 2/3 of every book or watches 2/3 of every movie. And then you just say, I kind of got that feeling from you. That you don't need to watch the rest because there's that moment where everything clicks. You know how it's going to turn out. Yeah. And so you're always looking for the next kind of mystery, the next uncertain move for yourself. And I feel like this is kind of what's motivating you, or this is what is hopefully giving you a sense of what's coming next in your life, or where you want to go next. Because, with all the talking that I've done, I haven't really said much, right? Because we don't know what's coming after this doorway. And that's part of this moon energy too, is not seeing what's on the other side of this. And that's how you like it, right? That's how you like it. I think you have a strong connection with the ocean, I think for the same reason. You love the mystery of it. You love the idea that anything could be lurking under the surface. So to me, it feels like a very spiritual time for you. You probably grew up on boats. You probably have a boat. Maybe that's what's coming next through this doorway for you, because this is the next phase of your life. This is the next chapter for you. Maybe it has something to do with boats, or with the ocean, or maybe going toward the ocean. Okay, but I feel like this is the opportunity for you to figure out what comes next. And you can really, there's no limit, right? There's no limit to what you can, what energy you can move into next in your life. All right. Now we're going to move over to the path of the serpent. As I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription if you haven't subscribed yet. Please do. Totally free. Doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I'm very fascinated to see how worldwide our community is. I love all of you. I appreciate you all so, so much. Okay. So we've got this this Knight of Wands here. And like I said, this kind of is feeling like we're feeling a little impulsive. We're feeling a little bit anxious, that we do kind of have to hurry up for a lot of different reasons. We have to hurry up and pick what's coming next. It's almost like the window of opportunity is closing, and we feel like we've got to commit to something, but we know ourselves enough to say, I'm not going to be satisfied with whatever choice I make, And I understand that too. I'm the same way. You've probably heard me talk about this before, but when I'm looking for the next book to read, we're talking about books, I have a big library. We've got hundreds, if not thousands, of books, and they're all just in piles because we don't have enough furniture, right? But I'll go to pick another book to read. And there's so many choices, and maybe I can narrow it down to 5 or 10. And I try to narrow it down to 3 or 2. And I say, okay, I'm going to read this one. But then as soon as I take that book and I go sit in bed and I start reading it, I think, that wasn't the right choice. I think, gosh, I feel so much stronger about that other book. So then maybe I'll put my robe back on, I'll go back downstairs, and I'll find the other book I was looking at, or maybe I've got 10 more and I've got to narrow it down again. But the idea is that whatever we choose, we're never satisfied with that choice. We never can have that full commitment. That's why I think that you've explored so many different careers, so many different courses of study. Maybe you have a lot of degrees. Maybe you're a collector of accomplishments, right? Because that's where the fun is. That's where the excitement is. It's more about the choice and that feeling of being drawn to something. Then once you have it, it's kind of like, okay, I've done that. I've got to find something else now. We're always kind of chasing that feeling, chasing that mystery, chasing that unknown, right? And so to me, that really has a strong connection with the ocean, with ocean voyages, with the kind of mystery of the deep, May even be that you were in the military, maybe you were in the Navy, maybe there's something with submarines there, maybe you really do immerse yourself in that kind of energy, that kind of vibe, of that really deep mystery. And I'm kind of feeling now with the Knight of Wands that it's kind of a letdown to then think, well, I've just got to do the practical thing, that I want to have this life of mystery and adventure. I want to live in this novel or this movie and this energy. But then we've got a 5 of Pentacles. There are practical things. There is that thing on the side of the building that needs to be fixed, right? The deck or I don't know if it's the stairs maybe leading up. But there are practical things that need to be done. Maybe the car needs to be repaired. Maybe the next phase of your life has to be one of some kind of practical decisions, right? That we are in need of this mystery, but at the same time, we're kind of in need of this stability. Yeah. So a 5 of Pentacles in the position of the environment. Now let's talk about the cards again, finally. The 5 of Pentacles in the environment shows that there are a lot of good uses for this time, space, this resource, whatever it is, whatever this Ace of Pentacles is. If it's money, if it's time, if it's space, there is a lot that you can do with it. Okay? And sometimes when I get these 2 cards together, the Princess of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles, I think maybe there is some traveling. Maybe you are thinking about relocating your home somewhere. Maybe the next chapter of your life is you moving to that kind of dream location. Doesn't have to be your dream house, doesn't have to be millions of dollars, but moving closer to the ocean, moving closer to the mountains, right? Getting maybe a smaller house, but it's kind of more isolated. Yeah, moving to the country, so to speak. Yeah. I feel like maybe it's a houseboat even, right? Maybe it's that kind of relocation that you're after. But like I said at the beginning, there are a lot of possibilities here. The next chapter of your life really is going to be the most difficult one for you to choose. Yeah. And so we end with the 10 of Swords. And to me, that's a decision that is going to have to go through many revisions. I feel like you're going to make a plan, and then you're going to scrap it and you're going to start over. And you're going to keep doing that. And it's going to take you a few times to do that, I think, before the day finally comes where you just say, that's good. Let's do that. Let's stick to that. Yeah. And I think it does have to do with this realization that life is what happens as we're busy making plans. So the longer we have to keep revising these plans, let's just acknowledge we're never going to be completely satisfied with it. So let's make it the best we can, and let's go live it. Because you're being given that opportunity to write the next chapter of your own story. And it's never going to be perfect. You're never going to be satisfied. If every writer waited to publish their book until they were absolutely perfectly satisfied with what they'd written, we would never have any new novels out, right? There has to be a point where we say that's as good as it's going to get. Anything beyond this point is just me like spinning my wheels, Let's look at the mystery card now. Let's see if this can confirm anything for us. I feel like you've lived a very rich life. I feel so many of these little details popping out. The ocean, I still feel the horses, There's just so many of these little details that I feel you've lived a life of great adventure. Yeah. But what I want to see here is some water energy. Why isn't there any water? Why is there not a feeling that we're just enjoying where we are, who we are, what we've done, and what we're going to do? I want a sense of peace. I want a sense of pleasure. Yeah, I want a 6 of Cups. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Here we go. Well, it's the World. But see, this doesn't help us, right? This doesn't help us because this is, again, kind of the world is your oyster. There is this infinite possibility. You can, and maybe that's the thing we need to acknowledge. That this next chapter, it's not the end of the book. This chapter can be a short one if you want. But let's live it. Let's go. Let's write something and do something. Maybe this is talking about us relocating. Sometimes we get this World card and we think we've got to carve out our own little spot in the world. Yeah. Who are you going to be next? Where are you going to be? What are you going to be? Every time we get the Knight of Pentacles, right? The Knight of Pentacles, which is one of your power cards. We don't have that card now, but we don't need it because we've got the Devil energy. But every time we get the Knight of Pentacles, I say, that is your best life. That is you with a spiritual vision to know where you want to be, to know like what the end of this chapter or end of the book is going to look like. And then you kind of reverse engineer it and you're able to write the story, right? Step by step, line by line, paragraph by paragraph. And it's this realization that everything we do now is creating who we are going to be. Yeah. And so with a World card, this is it's so strange. It's almost like not that we have no identity, not that we have no spiritual vision. We just have so many identities, so many visions, that you're not just one type of person, that no one can say, oh, there's Capricorn, they're, whatever, they're a writer, or they paint, or they do music. No, you have such, so many faces, right? And I don't know what that's about. I just feel as if I see a wall covered in all of these different ornate masks. Yeah. And it's just every day every phase of your life, every so often, you just pick one and say, this is what I want to be. This is who I want to be. Very interesting energy with you today. Now we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around for that, click on the link either up here or down below in the video description. New readings for Capricorn every Thursday and Sunday, but I'm here every day. Just come on back. See me again tomorrow, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free. Doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know how you're feeling. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.